Hey. Stepping in the lab, this brainwave shift. Turn pain into game, every loss uplift. City on my back, but my posture rich. Used to dream in the dark, now the switch they lit. No runs fire when I say my name. Rewire all the wires, I don't play that same. Old code in my head, had to break that chain. Now the pathway paved with the winds I claim. Yeah, power, money, respect, I evolve with it. New pathways in my head, watch me soar with it. Change, transform, I was built to collect. More life, more growth, that's the real asset. Yeah, power, money, respect, put it all on deck. New pathways when I move, every thought direct. Change, transform, I was born to connect. More life, more growth, that's the real asset. Pocket full of plans, I don't chase loose change. Every dollar just data.
Let's go. Snap it up and clap it up for yourself. You are amazing. You are abundant. You are somebody that's powerful. Most importantly, you are the MVP of your life. You're the best of the best, top of the top, cream of the crop. And I would love to welcome you to your Mindset Monday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On the Monday, we do our Mindset Monday. And this is all about clarity and direction. Snap it up and clap it up for you. Go ahead. You are the star of your story. You are the MVP of your life. You are the cause and the matter of what happens in your world. And once again, my name is Shaun Crumméy, and I'm here to help you with building out your systems to become more effective in less time. And your systems could be external and they could also be internal. So an example of external systems could be funnels. It could be marketing. It could be all of those things that allow you to be great on the front end. But what about the systems that are intrinsic, the systems that are internal that allows you to become the person, the character that gets paid to be themselves? When we talk about the character, we're talking about your most attractive character. And all of your opportunities are going to come to you based upon how attractive you are. Not just in the face, not just at what you wear, but also in who you are being, the way that you're showing up, the way that you operate, the way that you carry yourself. And the way that we could do it real simple, real easy is play our game more or less. And when we do more or less attractive, all we want you to do is put more in the chat or less in the chat. So just to show you that your level of attractiveness matters based upon these intangibles, we ask the following questions. If you have a significant other, in fact, let's just talk about you first. Are you more attractive or less attractive if you can communicate well? Go ahead, put more or put less in the chat. If you're more attractive or less attractive, if you communicate well, go ahead and put more or less in the chat. Now, let's put it in a frame of thinking about your significant other or potential partner because it's easy for us to talk about other people. It's just the bottom line of it, okay? So if your significant other or the person that's courting you or potential prospect, if they show up on time when they tell you that this is the time for the date, is that more attractive or less attractive? If they're able to do the things that they said they were going to do, is it more attractive or less attractive? Is it more attractive or less attractive if they have great manners, if they're polite, if they're thoughtful, if they smell good? So if they're considerate, if they're empathetic, these things matter. So all of these things matter because if you're just a beautiful face and you have horrible intangibles, the horrible attractive character skill set, then you're probably not going to have people that want to work with you, work for you, and most importantly, I'll just be there along your journey and support you. So with that being said, you know that your opportunities are based upon the level of attractiveness that you carry. And what is that? How do you develop the level of attractiveness that's worthy for you to get paid to be you? Well, it's simple. You have to develop the intangibles that make you a likable character, that make you trustworthy, that make you someone inspirational. And it's really easy. The only hard thing about it, it's tedious where you will have to continuously be this person. And when you work on you, everything else works out for you. So if you just become that person, if you just embody the spirit of being your greatest self and operating at the highest level with discipline and consistency, which is accountability, then guess what? You're in great shape. So without further ado, without further prolong, let me go ahead and start sharing this slide. If you have the Becoming More Effective in Less Time book, I would love for you to read it. But right now, on this particular call, what we're going to do is go over these slides. So let's share the screen. Let's go over these slides. If you want more revenue, hold on really fast. Okay, there we go. If you want more revenue, you want less working hours, you want real freedom, go ahead and put that's me in the chat. Go ahead and put that's me in the chat. Go ahead and put that's me in the chat. So I specialize in systems for both personal and professional growth. So this is all about personal and business development. When you grow and you embody these tools, you become a person that people will love to do business with. I'm an award-winning thinker, author, and speaker, and my entire marketing, my entire makeup, my entire being, my success has been contingent on my level of leadership. Everyone put leadership in the chat. So as you all know, I lost both of my parents growing up. I went to 7 different schools in 9 years. I had esophageal cancer. I lost over 55 pounds in 41 days. I used to sleep on the benches in the basements. I used to do a lot of things to get money as far as selling candy, XYZ. But one thing I always realized that I was always resilient for any situation I was in. Somebody go ahead and put resilience in the chat. Go ahead and put resilience in the chat. If you would love to become a person that can create more opportunity for yourself to have more money or more time, you're going to have to be resilient. I remember going to 4 different schools from my high school, and I still ended up having the salutatorian award because I had a 90 grade point average. Well, I could have had a 100 grade point average, but my freshman year, I had 65 grade point average, and after that, I had a 100 grade point average throughout the duration. So I ended up being a salutatorian, but the idea that I'm giving to you is that your obstacles are your opportunities. Now, I want you to tell me, what do you value most if you can only pick one? Because right now, time may be an obstacle for you. Right now, money may be an obstacle for you. Which one, if you could only pick one, do you value most? Now, I want you to get in depth. I want you to think about why, like go into the inner depths of why. When we were children, we always used to ask why. And then unfortunately, sometimes parents or teachers beat it out of us when they say, why you keep asking why? Be quiet. So then we start being quiet. But let's start questioning, right? So get inquisitive about everything that we share today and get inquisitive about the habits and everything that's in your life currently. So why? Why do you want time or money? Well, in the case of time, time is your greatest leverage. Without time, you have nothing. So when we ask you what contributes to your success the most, what might your answer be? Let me know in the chat. Everyone put your answer in the chat. And I want you to think about what affects both success and failure. So let me know in the chat. What contributes to your success the most? Your effectiveness with your time, yes. So your effectiveness with your time, it directly affects your experience with money, relationships, stress, freedom, and flexibility. So we want to get clear. Why is this important? Why is what you're doing with the time that you have important? Well, because what you do with the time that you have creates the outcome that you have currently. Makes sense? But also it gets a little deeper than that. So let's think about your money. Your effectiveness with your time directly affects your experience with money. If it takes you 10 hours to make $100, you're going to be more likely to hoard money. You're going to be more likely to hold on to money. You're going to be more likely to not invest into yourself, which helps you get more money. So chances are you're not going to have a lot of money if you accumulate money at a slow rate. So you have to speed up your effectiveness with the time in which you accumulate money, because if you do not, you're going to have a trauma around money and you're not going to want to release money in order for new money to come to you. You're going to hold on to money. And when you hold on to money, it's like water. Currency, right? When you hold on to water, all you're going to do is have water run through your fingers. Now, the same thing is going to happen with the money. If you hold on to money, you're going to find out that money is just evaporating. Why? Inflation, the cost of everything is rising, and also the dollar is falling each year. So what you can get for $20 now is far different from what you can get for $20 in the past. So your effectiveness with your time directly affects your experience with your money. And the same thing goes with your relationships. How effective are you being with the person that you're in front of right now dictates how strong, how valuable, how great your relationship can be. Are you taking your partner for granted? Are you the type of person who is not looking at the now and you're looking at the future and you're self-sabotaging, saying, oh, this is too good, why is it going so well? Maybe it's not going to work, and then you start breaking down your relationship. Anyway, let's continue to move. So when it comes to stress, a lot of us have stress based upon our inefficiency. So we have stress based upon we have X amount of things to get done in X amount of time. And it may seem like the time that you have to get things done, it might be not enough, and you might feel like time is running out. All right. Oh, rent is due 2 days, and you're $1,000 short, and you only could make $500 right now based upon what you do. So you feel like you're going to be late on rent. All right. So things like that will cause you stress. That's an inefficiency problem. It's taking you too long to reach the agreement that you said you were going to have as far as having your rent money on time, or maybe some unfortunate situation came up and made you backpedal a little bit. Either way, that's affecting your freedom and flexibility. You go on vacation, you only can afford to be on in 3 days, 2 days. When you come back, you're stressed, or now you're in more debt and have to work even harder. So we want you to be cautious and cognizant of your time and what you do with it, because your effectiveness with your time directly affects your experience. Now, we all have the same 24 hours. There's someone in your life right now who has the same 24 hours as you, maybe the same situations or similar situation that you're dealing with, but is actually being able to complete the task that they are setting forth. And maybe there's people that you don't know that's not in your life on a physical basis, but you probably see people who've come from a similar struggle or come from a similar background, and they were able to get the dream life that you desire. See, so what are you doing with yours? The question would be, if you can get 2 to 3 times more results within the same amount of time, same 24 hours, would your life change? So I want you just to answer that in the chat, yes or no. But also, once you put yes or no, why? Get a little deep. When you start to realize the more effective and efficient you are with your time, the better your experience with money, relationships, stress, freedom, and flexibility. And you're collecting $100 per hour, you're going to be more likely to invest into yourself versus the person who is collecting $100 every 10 hours. If you're the person that's living in the present, you're going to get gifted with a lot of things. So in the present moment of your relationships, you're going to get back so much love and energy. And it's a 90% chance that this will happen almost every time. And then sometimes you're just with people you just can't do anything about. So it's just you just picked the wrong person on that one. Now, when it comes to everything else, you need time, but you have to understand time. A lot of us do not understand time. We think that we just have time, but in reality, time is something that you technically don't have, but it has you. Now, you can do what you can with the time that has you, or the time that you technically are operating in. But I want you to think about why time exists, because time is not a linear thing per se. It can be perceived that way, but time is tracking incrementally measures efficiency. Okay. Tracking incrementally measures efficiency. The reason why we have time is because time is going to allow you to measure how efficient you are being in a certain amount of time. So how efficient are you being? When it comes to you taking a shower, what type of internal system are you creating? Are you just lollygagging inside of the shower? Are you using the shower to meditate, to restore your body when the rain drops, or when the shower drops, or dropping on your skin and dropping on the back of your head? Is it helping you revitalize your body, your energy? How are you perceiving this? What are you doing with the time that you have? And over time, tracking intentionally masters efficiency. So if time is tracking incrementally measures efficiency, and over time it becomes tracking intentionally masters efficiency, we're looking to master the things that we do. And a lot of us have mastered things. And when you master something, you might just go on autopilot. But doesn't mean just because you're on autopilot is good or bad. Your autopilot is based upon what you're mastering. Whatever you focus on expands. So this particular class is not going to be long today. We want to make sure you have the rest of your evening. We do have challenge weeks coming up, but right now I want you to focus on that everything important in your life is tracked and measured for efficiency. When you think about income is measured per hour, speed, miles per hour, relationships, how long did they last? When it comes to your life, they might ask your age, but I want you to think about speaking and how young you are instead of how old you are. That's a whole nother thing. But business is based upon return on investment. So ROI, how fast can you get your money back? And we all know about weight. A lot of us don't even want to step on that scale because when you see it, it'll make something happen within your body. Okay, you start doing something about it, or you might get sad and eat some more ice cream. Anyway, anyway, when you think you are lacking time, money, or opportunity, most likely you're lacking visibility on how your time is actually being used. And if you don't measure it, you can't improve it. So whatever you don't measure doesn't get improved. This is why time is so important, because time can help you measure and track what you are doing. Now, your system is super important. Everyone put system in the chat. So if how effective you are being with your time determines your success or failure, then your system determines how effective you are being with your time. Your current reality is a reflection of your system. So if you look at in your life right now and you are being drained significant time, energy, and money, your system is not working. Every system is supposed to save you significant time, energy, money. The car you use is a system, but how are you treating your car? How effective are you with your car? How effective are you with the time that you are utilizing your car? Are you speeding through traffic, not paying attention, crashing your car? Are you running over potholes and burning out the wheels? Like, what's going on? So, when you think about it, your system is supposed to save you significant time, energy, money. Your car is supposed to save you time, energy, money. You don't have to walk so far to work. You don't have to spend the time wasting or getting up super early or spending so much energy having to get to work or wherever you're going. No, it should help you. But a lot of times, our systems are draining us significant time, energy, money. So you have to make sure the car that you have is that a system that's getting you to point A, point B and helping, or is it just a system that's doing all the things but taking more money out your pocket, right? It's doing all the things that is saving you time and saving you energy, but it's costing you a lot of money. So you might make a little trade-off here and there, but your system should be helping you save money, save time, save energy. That's what a system is supposed to do, whether it's internal or external. So when you start measuring, you start building out your system and you create a system, you now have a tool to measure your success. And when you're able to measure your success, when you're able to measure what you're doing, and you're able to measure your failures also, you can stop guessing, you can stop wasting, you can start optimizing. You know what doesn't work, you know what does work. You have the proof, you have the evidence, it can back it up, and also it's giving you the direction. So now you have clarity. If you ever felt like I don't make enough money, I'm always stressed, I don't have the time, my relationships are draining, somewhere in there, you're lacking clarity. You're lacking clarity on how to utilize money. You're lacking clarity on the purpose of money. You're lacking clarity on what you have in front of you if your relationships are draining you. And it wasn't about you lacking that effort. You were lacking the system. The system gives you the clarity. You don't have the system. You don't have the clarity. You have confusion. You don't move. There is no movement. If you're busy but not effective, you're overthinking instead of executing, you're worried about things you cannot control, you're spending money with no return, you're saying yes to everything, you're not tracking your progress, then guess what? You're not being effective. You, if this is you, if you're the overthinker, if you're the worrier, if you're spending money, you're giving out money to everyone, but you're not seeing a return on your money, chances are you're not being as effective with your time. Okay. Life is mathematics. Life is mathematical and systematic. Now, when you think about mathematics, mathematics has a system to it. Now, life has a system to it. Everything in life is systematic. You could believe that it's by chance, you could believe that it's random, but you take a series of actions to produce a result. It's all a combination of inputs that creates an output. Whether you realize it or not, what you do daily stacks up and creates the results you currently have. And remember, this is spiritual. So whatever you believe in, you'll be living because you're the creator of your reality. Makes sense? Everyone put belief in the chat. Whatever you believe in, you'll be living. Words cast spells. Words creates a thought that produces beliefs. Beliefs is either you believe it or you disbelieve it. Either way, you take an action and the action produces a result, and then that result is your life. So if you're focusing on lack, if you're focusing on what you don't have, guess what? You get more of that because whatever you focus on expands. It's mathematical. If you keep thinking negative, you get more negative. You can't keep getting, you can't keep thinking negatively and then get positive results. It's not going to happen like that. Okay, you have to be optimistic and you have to take risks, take chances in order to see positive results show up. Because right now, you're perfectly designed to get the results you're currently getting. So, whatever results you're currently getting in your life, you're perfectly designed to keep getting those results. If you want things to change, you must change who you are. You must change the way you operate. You must change your beliefs. You must change who you cooperate with, who you collaborate with. And another thing too, how you handle stress, because stress is a sign of inefficiency. Trying to control everything, focusing on what you lack, taking on other people's problems. That one is huge. That's why I have that italicized. Taking on other people's problems. A lot of people we try to do those things and it just does not work out. So my question to you is, which life are you living? Are you living an inconsistent life? But this is life A. Inconsistent, maybe you're lacking money, you have up and down relationships, you're stressed, you're overwhelmed, you're reactive, always trying to catch up, always feeling off balance. Now, life B is a consistent life where you're growing your income, you're aligned with your relationships, you're healthy within your relationships, you're healthy within your body, you're exercising, you're doing the things necessary, you're calm, you're focused, you have stress-free energy, you have clear direction, you pray, you meditate, you're in control of your time, you schedule, and you're in control of your life. You're orchestrating the life that you have. Which life do you currently live? If your system is not working, let me know in the chat. Put my system is not working. If your system is working, put my system is working. Because if your system is working, you are most likely living life B. If your system is not working, you're most likely living life A. So it's easy. Don't get upset. Look at the negatives versus the notifications, right? So we want to have this idea of negatives versus notifications. We don't want to harp on the negatives. We want to fixate on the notifications. Yes, this might be a negative, but what is it telling us? If I'm living a life that's inconsistent, I'm lacking money, then guess what? I need to put a little more focus on my money. I put a little more focus on how I spend. Am I spending on things that's just taking money from me, or I'm spending things that's adding money to me? So we have to just be cautious of that, right? Am I aligned with healthy relationships? Are the people around me just being negative Nancy's? Or I'm with positive Pete's? Let me know. So I want you to always think about this. Your problem is your opportunity. Opportunities are sometimes disguised as obstacles. And it might be a little struggle, but without struggle, you don't have any growth. When you go to the gym, if you're not struggling a little bit, you won't grow in that area. But when you put the pressure on yourself, the pressure creates progress. If there's no pressure, there's no progress. You have to give yourself the pressure. You don't want to wait on life to give you the pressure because that's when it's going to feel even more daunting, like you cannot win. You have to give yourself the pressure. You have to exceed the pressure. You have to give yourself the expectations. Your current obstacle right now is preparing you for your next level. So, who do you want to be? If you want X amount of dollars, you must now need to know how to work with the little money that you have so that way you're able to get a lot of money that you want. Make it make sense. If you're struggling financially, you look at the negatives versus the notifications. If you're struggling financially, we're not worried about how much money we don't have. We need to worry about on what we do have and what we need to work on to get more, to acquire more, to collect more, because it's not a negative that we don't have the money. It's just a notification that this is the area that we need to focus a little more in order to increase that area. And remember, that skill that you create with creating financial flexibility now becomes a future skill for future freedom. So then, therefore, you don't run out of money. You just keep using that. So the four pillars of results: vision, which is your imagination, your creation, like what can you create in your mind, the systems, your communication, the way that you orchestrate, the tools that you are using to help create the vision, the team, the people who are integrated with your vision and what you're looking to do, how they align with what you're looking to accomplish, the unification, the people who are partnering up with you to bring this to life, to execute and implement the ideas that give you the results. So you're not going to get great results without these four pillars. If you're missing any one of these four pillars, your results will vary. If you have all of these four pillars in locked, in order, operating at high efficiency, you're going to have maximum results. Now, listen, this is a spectrum. We don't want to judge our chapter 2 to our chapter 20. Hold on, let me put my charger on. You don't want to get discouraged about where you're at right now. and you don't want to get discouraged about where you want to be based upon where you're at right now. So I want you to think about it. We don't want you to skip steps. You don't want you to do shortcuts. If you look for shortcuts, you'll cut yourself short. And the truth is, there aren't any secrets to success. There are only systems to success. If you operate with systems, systems are going to help you save yourself significant time, energy, money, allow you to be more effective in less time. Okay. Now, your system determines how effective you are with your time, and your current reality is a reflection of your system, and it should be saving you significant time, energy, and money because your system will change everything. And this is not about working harder, this is about working higher. We all want good results with less effort. So who are you becoming? That way you can execute faster, swifter, easier. That matters. When you're looking at this right here, I'm just not, I'll skip all of this right now because that's not that important. But what I'm showing you is the reality of this whole paradigm of where you're at in your life right now is based upon the work that you're putting in. So if you are putting in work, you're going to get the results that you truly want, but only when you're putting in the work, in the effort. Now, what's the work? The work is, am I holding up to my end of the agreement, to my end of the bargain, where I say I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do? Am I showing up on time? Am I executing on the task that's in front of me? Am I being organized? Am I staying diligent? Am I allowing myself to be with other people in order to get the results? So when we talk about the four pillars of results, you need to make sure that's locked in. You need to have your vision. What is your vision? Because life doesn't go according to plan. What happens when your plan gets derailed by life? Because it's going to happen. It always happens. What season comes after summer? Fall. So you might be on that grind where everything feels like it's rainbows and sunshine, and then you might just start feel like everything is falling apart. That's natural. The next season after summer is fall. It's okay. It's natural. You know that everything that rises is going to come down. Whatever goes up must come down. So there's going to be a time in your life where you're going to hit some turbulence, hit some turmoil. It is time to push back, fight back, and stand up and be executive in our decisions on what it is that we're looking to accomplish, which is staying the course in order to get to the goal. Because life doesn't go according to vision, life doesn't go according to plan, it goes according to your vision, right? So we need to make sure that we're operating at the highest level. Do we have the systems in place? Are we still cutting corners because we don't want to pay money to be able to get these other systems? Then guess what? The results that you want will suffer. Bottom line, end of discussion. If you're going to operate at your highest level, it's going to take you knowing how to communicate, how to integrate people into your life, how to orchestrate the pieces on a chessboard. All the people that surround you, you have to know how to utilize them and operate with them, but by you being the person that's moving them around. They might not even know you're manipulating the situation. You have to learn how to be a master manipulator in the situation of your own life because no one's coming to save you. You got to have clarity in where you want to go, or you would never go anywhere because you'll be too busy worried about and being stuck. You'll be too busy worried about, okay, if it's the right move or it's the wrong move. You'll never move. So you have to know how to move yourself. You have to know how to get yourself going in order to know how to get other people going to help you in your world. And you can do it. You can do it. You've already done it. Now it's time to do it strategically. You have to know how to unify people. You have to give people rewards for what they want out of their lives by helping you in your life. So in other words, you have to be a benefit to other people. If they come and they help you, what do they get out of it? If they don't get to benefit and only you get to benefit, then it's charity, and they might not have time to just give you their time for charity. It just might not be the case. So we have to be aware of that. So what type of reward are we giving them in order to get them to do some things back? And then it's not just about them doing it for you. They need to do it right, and they need to do it well. They need to do it exceptional, and they need to do it in a way where it's going to move the needle forward. So it's not just about them executing. They need to be able to implement on the idea. What and how you get them to do that is you have to lay the idea out so clear that they can see the reward that they get. So when we talk about having clarity and direction, are you building out your vision? Are you building out your system? Are you building out your team? Are you building out the way that you need to execute in order to get the results that you know is there? So how effective are you being with the time? So in order for you to truly be that person, you must now work on the intangibles. You must work on your own motivation, your own inspiration. How can you get up and be disciplined and organized? Because if you're not disciplined and organized, those characteristics trickle down to how you operate with other people. And guess what? Chances are you're slacking somewhere. So if we are looking to make X amount of dollars, then we now need to be the person that earns the right to have the experience. So what are you doing with the time that makes you qualify? Are you learning? Are you becoming more diligent? Are you becoming a person who can handle the pressure? Are you learning how to be resilient? When things are coming your way and it's not working out the way that you wanted to, are you using your power of perspective to articulate that to yourself, to articulate that, okay, this is maybe not part of the plan, but somewhere along the way, I might need this as a catapult to push me closer to my vision. Oh, I lost $15,000 in this investment. Okay, what's the message within that mess? Okay, now I need to make sure I orchestrate my vision and my systems around protecting myself from those things so that way I can be more in alignment with my assignment. Make sense? So the homework for you today will be for you to look at your vision, your system, your team, and the way that you would love to execute on that goal, that vision, that dream. And I want you to write it down and make sure, are you operating in it right now? And if you're not, which pieces do you need? Okay, so let's reiterate that again. Okay, we'll reiterate that again for you all. So you need to make sure you have your vision. What is it that you truly want? Where are you going with this? What are you out to accomplish? And then you want to make sure you have your systems. What type of tools? Internal systems, external systems, what do you have at your disposal that you're going to need in order to get that vision to come to life? Then you have to look at that team, right? Who do you have around you? Who are you going to put in place? Who do you need to put in place? What type of person, what type of role do you need in order to get this done? And then how do you want to execute on that vision so that way it comes to life? It is so simple. It's a simple exercise. So we start there, do that exercise, and then we'll come back next week. Don't forget, we do have the Mindset Resets networking on Saturday. So make sure you're there. Once again, this is your Mindset Mondays for clarity and direction. And today's segment was all about becoming more effective in less time and why it's important, because it is the thing that contributes to your success and failure the most. You are the best of the best, the top of the top, the cream of the crop. You are the MVP of your life. Go ahead and put MVP in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and put MVP in the chat. And let's get ahead and close out. You are the best of the best, top of the top, cream of the crop. You already know what to do. Go out there and be amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Without clarity, you create confusion. And when you're confused, you don't move. Mindset Monday.
Every loss
We're back at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Used to dream in the dark, now the switch stay lit. No runs fire when I say my name. Rewire, otherwise I don't play that same. Old code in my head, had to break that chain. Now the pathway paved with the winds I claim. Yeah, power, money, respect, I evolve with it. New pathways in my head, watch me solve with it. Change, transform, I was built to collect. More life, more growth, that's the real asset. Yeah. Power, money, respect, put it all on deck. New pathways when I move, every thought direct.